you're also a survivor. I think that that's beautiful. For me, following your page and everything, I think that that's beautiful. That you took it upon yourself to educate in that field as well.
You know, I couldn't find any black women that had endometriosis when I was diagnosed, and it's been 10 years since I had my diagnosis. And the only black woman I knew was Tia Mowry. Like, I've heard her mention it before, but I didn't know anybody else who had it. And when I was diagnosed, there's a Facebook group called Nancy's Nook, and it's for people who have endometriosis, but a lot of the women in Nancy's Nook are white women. They're like in their 40s to 60s, like in that age, and they're just kind of finding out that they have endometriosis. Like, a lot of women tend to find out when they're trying to have children, and then they can't get pregnant, and then find out that's the reason why they can't get pregnant. And so I just felt like, because I couldn't find any black women who had endometriosis or who was talking about it, I figured maybe that's the reason the spirit gave it to me, was so I could be a black woman that was talking about it, and I kind of just went from there. But that took a lot of time to even get there, to start talking about it and being an advocate for it.
In your research of endometriosis, do you feel like your research has helped you?
Yeah and no at the same time. I feel like my experiences was the biggest teacher, because it's like there's research, but it's not a lot of research. Now there is, but when I was diagnosed, there wasn't a whole lot that you could really find on endometriosis. And I had seen plenty of doctors. Like, I have been suffering with heavy periods, like debilitating periods, since I was probably 12. That's when I started. So I've always had a debilitating period. But like, none of the doctors weren't catching that it might be something more. They just kind of just wrote it off as like, oh, you have a bad period. So that's just kind of what it is. It'll get easier for you once you get older, and when you get pregnant. That's what they would tell me. And so it wasn't a whole lot of research that I was finding on endometriosis. It was kind of like I was walking in it and just trial and error, and what kind of worked and what kind of didn't work. And then once I started kind of advocating, then I started meeting other black women who had it. And then I started meeting other black women from mostly other different states, because I don't know a whole lot of advocates here in Georgia. But in other states, that's kind of how I started getting connected, with like knowing other women who have endometriosis. And then we just kind of started talking, and I guess that you could count that as research when we started having conversations and started like putting like all of our experiences together, and started realizing, oh, we kind of have similar experiences. It's just the doctors is kind of just writing us off, because even if you ask for an endometriosis diagnosis, or like if you put it on the table that might be what's wrong with you, they're gonna dismiss it. And a lot of times they want you to have a hysterectomy, versus like really trying to dig deep and see like what they can do to help with the pain and everything that you're going through.
Yeah. You know what, and you know what, that's wild. I know, especially from hearing the stories, they definitely do that a lot with black women too.
Yeah.
Like, disregard the condition or the diagnosis, and say, hey, won't you do this? Especially like being in the medical world. You know, again, shout out to you for even having the courage to talk about it and stuff like that too.
Yeah.